Everybody watching this video, before you click dislike, before you click like, before you do anything, let's listen to the topic that I have for you guys today. It is November 16th at the moment, which means that we have a whopping 15 days until the start of December. With that in mind, let's look at Jeff Veillette's article on faceoffcircle.ca. This was a magnificent piece published onto the website yesterday. This is a great piece of journalism that I believe everybody should actually take the time to read thoroughly, because this is making impacts here in the hockey landscape right now. Why Gudbranson for Nylander deal makes sense for both sides. Written by Jeff Veillette, published yesterday, and before you guys even react, let's take a look as to what Jeff has to say in this article. Obviously, we're talking about Gudbranson and Nylander. Gudbranson being that sort of young 220-pound defenseman, and Nylander being that freshly drafted Swedish young forward who has really established himself as a talent in the draft that he went in, as well as the leagues that he's played in so far. Veillette talks about this by starting off with the Toronto Marlies. He talks about the Marlies and what they've gone through, and he talks about how the Marlies have had a little bit of trouble with injuries with their forward core. And as a result, the best result for the Marlies would be to trade for Alex Nylander. Yes, that is right, ladies and gentlemen. Alexander Nylander, the son of Michael Nylander and Rochester Americans forward piece, as well as Buffalo Sabres prospect. Veillette talks about how Nylander was drafted pretty high. This Swedish right winger has been a pretty good prospect ever since he was drafted, and how he's really taken strides to making the next step in this most recent AHL season. And he talks about how this player would allow balance between the Marlies amongst their other forwards that are mostly left-handed and mostly left-wingers, like Carl Grundstrom and Pierre Engvall, naming a few guys right here. And he says that the return for Alexander Nylander should be the other Alex himself, Alex Gudbranson, which is a defenseman. He's 23 years old, 220 pounds. He is the brother of 19-year-old Chantal Gudbranson, playing for the University of Guelph in Canada's University Leagues for women's ice hockey. Veillette brings up a very good point that Gudbranson is on a team that's got a lot of capable defensemen, and as such has been spending most of his time with the Newfoundland Growlers in the ECHL. The ultimate kicker in the article talks about how the Rochester Americans could win the Calder Cup, and a good, solid defenseman on the back end could help them reach that. This is why, according to Jeff Veillette, Gudbranson for Nylander is a deal that makes sense for both sides. Obviously, we're talking about Alex Gudbranson and Alex Nylander of the Toronto Marlies and Newfoundland Growlers and the Rochester Americans. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Twitter, Google+, links are down below. Make sure to scroll /gaming, and bye.